What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac. Man, get on up here. Pull you up one, light you up one, kick your shoes off. Relax, baby. You around family. We on the porch. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this. I'm back. What's up, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac. Welcome back. We back with season 4. Cuatro. However else you say it in any other language. We back with it, man. Yeah, I know that it's sooner than what I said. I was planning on coming back in September. But so much stuff has happened since I left y'all. And then I thought about it. Yeah, I know I'm taking vacation. But you know, as an adult, we don't get the whole summer off. You know, we ain't kids. And then the kids off and start back at school. So it's time to get back on the porch and get back to business, man. A lot of stuff. First of all, we're going to talk about the world of celebrity deaths. We're going to start with like the last death that hit us in the face. That was Hulk Hogan. Now, 10 years ago, I'd have been ripping up t-shirts saying Hulkamania is finna run wild on heaven and all that. But after hearing about Hulk Hogan dying, I just got one question. Which I ate for lunch that day? Which I had? I had a chicken salad sandwich with some kettle cook, just plain kettle cook. You know, I'm an old man. I got plain with a deal. Pickle slice. Hey, let me tell y'all something. Hey, look. Don't be sleeping on them deal pickle slices with them sandwiches now. Hey, look, y'all know be looking like one of them old 6-something-year-old white dudes, but hey, when you get a certain age, them bitches be hitting with your sandwich, boy. Yeah, that's how I honestly feel. Like, I don't cry for bigots. You know, I don't cry for bigots. You know, people get killed when they're in the wrong. I don't cry for them either. I'm just not a person, if you put bad out there and something bad happens to you, I don't wish ill on you at all, but I'm not going to cry for you. You know, my condolences to his family. Shit, they even said that his daughter, like, he left some money in the will for his daughter. She like, I don't want it. I'm good, love. Like, D.L. Hughley said it best. He said, how much does somebody gotta hate you? They don't even want the money you left for them. Look, I got a couple family members I can't stand. But if they happen to leave me some money, I'm going to go ahead and grab them. I'm like, God bless them. They still ain't going to be shit in my ass, but I'm going to get that money now. Like, look, you know, money can't heal damaged relationships. But it's a start. Hell, it's a start. You know, you got to start somewhere. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and my happiness ain't gonna be within this 20,000 or maybe 50,000, maybe in 100,000, but I'm gonna try and find out until it's gone. Day before he died, lost the Prince of Darkness. We lost Ozzy Osbourne. I'm not shocked about Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, it's sad, but y'all, let's keep it funky. Ozzy been dodging the Reaper for years. He has been dodging the Reaper for years. So it's not shocking. It's just like, damn, he held out longer than we thought. I mean, yeah, so everybody like, oh my God, this. I'm like, no, Ozzy been ducking and dodging the Grim Reaper for a long time. And the Reaper people, you know what I think? I think Ozzy ran laps around the Reaper. Reaper just sat down and said, man, look, just come when you ready. Ozzy probably did everything he wanted to on earth and told the Reaper, yeah, I'm ready to go. Just go. Let's see, this is death. You know, so the Reaper didn't come for Ozzy. Ozzy just went up to the Reaper like, yeah, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here, man. It's been a crazy ride. And they boarded the crazy train to the afterlife. I don't know where he going up or going down, but Peter Ozzy Osbourne. Now, the day before him, now this is a death that this one rocked me to the core. And you know what? TMZ is actually starting to become a credible source when it comes to celebrity deaths because they broke it first. just like they did with Kobe Bryant 5 years ago, and that is the death of the legendary, undeniably talented, unduplicated Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who y'all most likely will know as Theo Huxtable from The Cosby Show. He didn't like that moniker later on in life, but, you know, that's what he was known for. He was known as Theo from The Cosby Show. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Until I really learned his name, the movie that I really paid attention to him, I knew him on The Cosby Show, but after this movie came out in 1995, I called him that until a couple of years later when I actually learned his name. Tuskegee Airmen, he played Leroy Jonas Cappy in the 1995 HBO movie Tuskegee Airmen. It also starred Lawrence Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr., Alan Payne, Mekhi Phifer, Chris McDonald, who y'all know as Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore movies, which we're going to talk about those movie later. Yeah, I just said he was with his family out in the Dominican Republic, got caught up in a riptide and drowned. Man, y'all, this is like I said, this is right up there with Kobe, man, because for a lot of people, they say he's like a brother, which he is for me. He's like a brother because I actually had brothers born in the 70s. You know, he's born in 1970. My oldest brother was born in 1972. So in that sense, he a brother. But for anybody else in my generation, you know, late 80s, he would be like a uncle to us. Like, he was like an uncle that was cool, you know, didn't let you wild out, didn't let you get in no delinquency or debauchery or anything like that, but you still learn from it. You still respected him. This man, you know, he was a recording artist, a poet, musician, great actor. Like, one of the most memorable scenes on The Cosby Show is you know, in first season, it had to be one of the first 10 episodes. I don't know which one, but it definitely was in the first 10 episodes ever for The Cosby Show, is when he wanted that Gordon Cottrell shirt and Denise made it for him and it was all jacked to hell, and then he went in the room and asked Denise, it was like, this is what I paid $30 for, and then Denise asked him like, you don't like it? He looked at her and said with the most deadpan, like, bitch, are you serious? Look like you want to ask me that question again. And it was so funny, like, you know, if you watch live action shows, like film in front of a studio audience, you know a line is funny when you can't even hear it all the way because the audience starts laughing. But the piece de resistance on that scene is when he was talking about the size of it, and then Denise like, but maybe if you tuck it in a little, and then looked at it, he was like, it's tucked into my socks. The way his teeth were together, the way his eyes bugged out, I was like, oh my God. If I had been alive in 1984 seeing it, I probably would have been on my parents' living room floor in tears. Oh my goodness. He gave us that. Then he came back later years in the 90s. He actually had a show right after The Cosby Show ended, which was supposed to be a continuation of Theo's story, even though they changed it up. It's called Here and Now, where he played a recent graduate of Howard University who's coming back to NYU for grad program, and he's working at a community center in Harlem. It co-starred Daryl Chill Mitchell. Y'all know him from House Party. He's the one who kept bumping the table while Belial Martin Lawrence's character kept trying to mix. He was hilarious, and a lot of people got the starts in there, or early roles in there. Mos Def was in there for an episode. Omar Epps was in there a couple episodes. Lauryn Hill was in there. Even Sean Weiss. Y'all know him as Goldberg on the Mighty Ducks. series from Disney. He was a series regular. It only lasted one season, but it was pretty good. It's called Here and Now. Came out in 1992, only lasted one season. And also he gave us one of UPN like flagship programs. That was Malcolm and Eddie, which starred him and Eddie Griffin. Which I don't know who thought to put those two together, but whoever it was that thought that they were a genius, because it worked to perfection. They were, oh my God, they were beautiful. And the thing is, people don't know about this. They didn't like each other. But you never would know. That speaks to the professionalism of both Malcolm-Jamal Warner and Eddie Griffin, to be two people who couldn't stand each other, but you would never know. You would swear that they were the best of friends. Hell, at least cordial with each other. But like Malcolm-Jamal Warner expressed in an interview several years ago with Sway in the Morning, he said, I didn't like him. We didn't get along. He said, but we would come together each week, we pray, and we go do what we got to do. That speaks to their professionalism. But yeah, this one is it's a hard one, man. Because it's crazy, because something told me before I found out, something just say, watch episodes of Malcolm and Eddie. And then the day before I found out he passed, I watched the Tuskegee Airmen. The next morning I found out he had left us, man. It was like, that was kind of eerie to me. I don't know if it was God's way of saying, recognizing why he's here, because I'm coming to get him. So R.I.P. to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. My thoughts and prayers go out to your wife and daughter and the rest of your family, man. Yeah, this was a big one for us. This was a big one. Whew, Lord, I'm still in shock, y'all. Go ahead and move into music. Some more music has come out since I last talked to y'all, because y'all know that Larry June and the Clips albums had both dropped. But now, little R&B heavy on this episode, because two of the albums that dropped were R&B albums and one rap album. The first one was by Vito. That's called Epitome. He did his thing. He got two songs on I Love on there. One is called Atlanta, where he pretty much singing about average day in the life of being in Atlanta. You know, like people who stunting and fronting and all that type of stuff. And even though a lot of my friends who live in Atlanta told me Atlanta has changed since I left in 2013, listen to his song, I'm like, why? Some things change, some things remain the same. Because almost everything he said, I'm like, that sounds about right for when I was living there in my 20s before I joined the military. It's a good album, man. Another song he got is called Thinking About You. That song put me in the mood and I'm in my feelings for somebody who don't even exist. I done ran that back so many times. That's like the R&B version of Summer Snow by Larry June. As many times I done ran that song back, man. Yeah, that was a bang. Now, the next guy is El Hay. He released Lotus Ave, which I like his album. His album is therapeutic. It's for anybody who's struggling with a breakup or, struggling with trying to be healthy in a relationship with your significant other, because it's pretty much like he sings songs and then his interludes would be like him talking to his therapist. So I dug that. It was therapeutic to me, like how Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a couple years ago, which I was like, it wasn't a vibe, bro. It wasn't supposed to be a vibe. It was supposed to teach you something. But this one just happened to be a vibe with good music. But that boy Freddie Gibbs, he came back with that Alfredo 2. Boy, I ain't gonna, Alfredo 1 still got, why do black people do that? Why do we put 1 on front? So, like, for instance, if you watching, like, Rockies, the Rocky movies, the first movie's called Rocky, but we gonna say Rocky 1. Like, if you remember Rocky 1, like, no, it's just called Rocky. Whatever, nigga. Rocky 1, but it slides, man. It still slides. it's Gibbs being Gibbs, man. And I love it. I love it. Couple movies released, both comedies. First one was Happy Gilmore 2. I love this movie. Adam Sandler can do no wrong. That man is the epitome of riding with your day ones. He gonna be unapologetically funny. You know, it was just, it was, I loved it. He brought back some people we ain't seen in a long time. He brought back Haley Joel Osment. Y'all remember him from The Sixth Sense? I see dead people. Brought him back. Shooter McGavin was in it, and the way Shooter McGavin was in this movie, I was a little shocked because I didn't know how it was going to go, but I liked the way he brought Christopher McDonald back as Shooter McGavin. He did him justice. Like, only thing I just didn't like, I didn't like how they had Laverne Crawford as Chubbs. By the way, R.I.P. to Carl Weathers. I didn't like how they had him in there with a ham. It's like, come on, man. Like, really, just, y'all could have did something else besides the ham. But, like I said, movie 9.5 out of 10. Had unnecessary cameos in there, crude humor, but that's an Adam Sandler movie. To the T. And I loved every second of it. Hell, even Cameron showed up, and I don't know where Mace was at. Mace must have been laying low, cause, you know, trying to stay out of the way of them people. Probably didn't want the people subpoenaing him for the Diddy trial, cause I was like, well, we got Cameron, why we ain't got Mace on them? And I want to say this, Dan Patrick, oh Lord, that mustache, bro, cut that shit off, bro. No, God, no, that shit, that shit was not the move, homie. But yeah, like, classic Adam Sandler. Our next movie coming up, I actually just found out they was making this like a month or so ago, but I'm happy. And that's because this is one of my favorite slapstick comedy parody movie series. And that is The Naked Gun, which stars Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. I was worried how Liam Neeson was going to be as he plays Frank Drebin Jr., who, if you've seen the original Naked Gun series, he's the original Frank, played by the late great Leslie Nielsen. He's his son. And Seth MacFarlane wrote and produced it. Seth MacFarlane, this movie, honestly, you need to watch it with like millennials. I'm talking about like millennials who were probably like from when being a millennial started, like 82 to like maybe 92, 93. Because a lot of those references they had in there, I was like, was Seth MacFarlane just in a 2003 to 2007 mindset? Because that's all, it seemed like 85, 90% of the material was coming from that time zone. And I was like, oh my goodness, they brought back one person from, y'all remember the paperclip guy from, was it Microsoft 03? They brought him back, and I immediately recognized him. I'm like, I hadn't seen this dude in 20 years. I was just, oh my God, I was like, he clearly was stuck in 03, 07 when he wrote it. He had a TiVo reference in there, and you got to remember, everybody remember, once upon a time, you know, before DVR, you had TiVo. I don't even think you got DVR no more without a stream service. But y'all remember, if you had TiVo, your people was touching paper, homie. That shit was not cheap. So it was like, oh my God, he talked about like people doing stuff with the, oh my God, you just got to go watch it. Like, unless, now at first I got mad because when they did the opening sequence, they didn't do, y'all know how if you seen the Naked Gun movies, they do the opening sequence with like the siren on the squad car, they just go in the ridiculous place, like be in a hockey rink, be on a water slide, be in a pinball machine, be on like be in a bobsled, all kind of stuff. They didn't do it in the beginning, I got mad, but they did it at the end. So I'm like, okay, movie, I give it a I'll say, and it's nothing against them as well. I'm gonna give it a 9.5, and that's because I was watching it in the theater with like Gen Zers, so a lot of the jokes they was making, I was laughing. They wouldn't because they didn't get it. I was like, yeah, I need to be in a room full of millennials, and went from like 82 to like 92. Gen X's and boomers, like late boomers, like maybe late 50s on to whenever the boom ended. But yeah, because like they didn't get none of the jokes, and all them jokes were gold. I caught all of them. But yeah, 9.5 on that. Now the world of sports, oh my God, so in the world of sports, y'all, Joy Taylor has retired from being a sports personality, sportscaster, whatever you want to call it. She said she didn't want to be 70-year-old with a mic in her face, but she got a podcast. I don't just what people just be saying some crazy shit, and it kills me because now that since this whole ordeal with her started, I went back and looked at her. I didn't realize she really don't got no ass like that. I mean, she got some nice breasts, but she got some nice chest balloons on her chest. Like, yeah, but like, you know, she in front view, yay. She turned to the side, she just, so I don't understand like that. But it's like you don't want to be in behind a mic, but you got a podcast, and a lot of people say they think she was using it, but with best of luck to her, but just, yeah, that's another sports personality hit the dust, and this one hurts my heart, because this man had a hell of a 2024, but 2025 just ain't been his year. That is Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe got fired by ESPN this past week after he settled out of court with that OnlyFans model that accused him of sexual assault for $50 million. Man, first it was like a few months ago, he leaked that audio of him and some chick get down, you know, he was talking her through there. Then it found out he was like tricking off on his OnlyFans model and got accused of having relations. Taking advantage, violating, let's be honest, accused of violating them, allegedly. Now ESPN is fired him. Boy, 2025 just been snowballing for poor Unc. And it's sad because didn't Cat warn him last year when he was on his episode, when he was on his podcast after New Year's, it started 2024, he warned him. And boy, that's why a couple people be saying, man, some people like, I just think you gonna hit a white. But let me tell you something, she ain't black, she ain't Latin, it ain't happening. I'm telling you. I'm not, no. I just can't do it. And then the next one is good because football is back, y'all. We are back. It is fall. We got America's real pastime, not baseball, every weekend into February. Football season is back in full effect. That's the good news. So we back. They got two bad news. The NFL still doing that dumbass kickoff. Ooh, boy, it just look bad. And also, Michael Parsons has requested a trade from the Cowboys. Yeah, he want to get up out of there. He said he ain't happy there. He said he not happy there. He don't want to be there no more. He wants a trade. And I heard that the people who are in the running for it are the Cowboys' NFC rivals and defending Super Bowl champs. We ain't gonna say their name. I'm gonna say, you know what that is. So, boy, if they get that, if they get him, ooh, I know people in Dallas gonna be sick. But, man, I had a friend of mine, my boy Cash, y'all never heard me shout him out before. We was talking about that because he from Dallas. He's from West Dallas, diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. He said, I don't know about this. He said, they always do this. I guess he was referring to, like, when Emmitt Smith back in the day would hold out in training camp each year because Dallas would refuse to, like, give him the money. He's just like, well, I'm going to sit out and then I'll come. I'm like, nah, man. Emmitt was sitting out because he knew his worth. He didn't say he was going away. He's like, I'm just not going to show up to y'all pay what y'all owe. Y'all pay like y'all weigh. You know, y'all do like Jesus and break bread. Michael Parsons just straight up said, I don't want to be here no more. So, we don't know if Jerry can pull a rabbit out of his ass once again, but if he can't, ooh, Dallas is going to have a fit. Oh, boy, my prayers go out to Dallas, man. But I have been hitting up everybody like, so is it still going to be y'all year? I done got cussed at a few times, but it's worth it. Y'all know I like to poke the bell. It's fun sometimes. Last before we get out of here, man, I watched 2 good podcasts. I watched Willie D's podcast. He had Hawthorne James on there. For those y'all don't know, that's Big Red from the 5 Heartbeats. Y'all know I love the 5 Heartbeats. And if you know I love the 5 Heartbeats, y'all know I love Big Red because you know I love Big Red. Y'all know I like the bad guy movies. And he dropped some jewels, and the man displayed his acting on there because it was a part of that. I thought him and Willie D was really going at it. That's how good his acting was. Shout out to Willie D, because Willie D acting was pretty decent too. Because I was like, what the hell? They were just talking, but he was demonstrating a little scene that he was acting out. That man dropped some jewels, man. If y'all can't go on YouTube and watch that, that is loaded with jewels. Now, the other one, this was Cam Newton's podcast, and he had Ray J on there, man. Like, man, they need to get Ray J some help, man. Like, this ain't everybody talking about he corny. Like, no, that man is a hurt, tormented soul, man. We need to get him some help. That podcast, he was going all around the world just to get up the street and still failed to do that. And then one, he just said something that was so outlandish, he made Cam go like, Cam was confused because he was talking about somebody was streaming and they said they was in the shower. He said, I want to get in the shower with you and stream. Cam looked at him like, what? Because Cam don't cuss. If y'all notice, he don't cuss. But the way Cam looked at him and said, what? In the back of his mind, I know Cam would have been like, nigga, what the fuck you just say? Because that's the look Cam shot. Now, you know you bad when Cam Newton is flabbergasted. You in a bad boat, big dog. You are in a bad boat. But, like, that man is just, we need to get that man some help, man. My heart goes out to him, and I'm praying for him. I'm praying for you, bro. That was hard to watch. Now I'm finna make a PSA before we close out today's show. So I made a reel a few days ago, and the reel was of Christina Milian, no makeup on, at age 43. She was in a bathing suit like she was at the pool. She had a fedora. She was looking good. And I was talking about how beautiful she is and how God bless. And I even said, man, this makes me want to go listen to Dip It Low. That's how I ended. Some guy jumped in the comments, because it was a public, it's real, it's public. Some guy jumped in there. He was like, he put up a picture of his wife side by side with Christina Milian. He said, well, my beautiful wife reminds me of her, looks like her. I tell her that all the time. And I was just thinking, why the woman was good looking? She ain't look shit like Christina Milian. But I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm like, nah, I don't want no smoke. I don't want anything like that. It was another dude who was one of my followers. He didn't feel that way. He said, bro, stop bullshit. He said, your wife don't look nothing like that woman. She said, she beautiful, she don't. And that opened the floodgate. Everybody started hitting the laugh. Oh, hell, I hit the laugh emoji on it. But dude got in his feelings. He like, oh, y'all laughing. I want to see y'all women. And he tagged me in and all that. So what the dude that said something about it was like, bro, I ain't got no woman. You got it, man. He's like, man, this dating pool, it ain't working. He's like, I ain't zipping. He got it. He said, well, I hear you being quiet. I said, my dude. The dude didn't say your wife was ugly. He just said she don't look like Christina Milian. Which she don't. Stop it. Give it a rest. People need to stop doing that. When somebody put up there, everybody tell my wife. Ain't nobody told your wife shit. Ain't nobody told your husband that, ladies. Ain't nobody told your kids they look like them. Ain't nobody told you your auntie, ain't nobody told your mama look like them. Ain't nobody told your dog look like that dog on TV. Stop with the lies. Y'all, they don't look like them. Stop being deluded. Love the skin you in. There's nothing wrong with who you are. But you don't look like that woman, or that man, or that child, or that dog. They beautiful. You alright. Anyway, that's been my time on the porch for the starting the new season, man. Y'all know where y'all can find me on Facebook. Look for my name. Y'all can find me on Instagram, PeteYMac10, PeteYMac10, or you can find me on TikTok, PeteYMac89. It's just like Instagram, just drop the 1 and 0, put an 8 and a 9. Y'all know y'all like, comment, follow, subscribe. You know, we back at it again. We gonna probably be here to the end of football season. Then we gonna take a few weeks off, most likely. We gonna hit it back up like end of spring, beginning of summer. Y'all know how we gonna do. But until next week, y'all, be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Peace.